Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into some fascinating new science that explores how to create advanced wound dressings from something you probably see every single day: plants.
So let me ask you this. What if a bandage could do more than just cover a wound? What if it could actually fight off infections and speed up the healing process all on its own? Well, that's the big idea behind the research we're going to break down right now. But before we get to the cool new tech, we've got to understand the problem scientists are trying to solve here. You see, even with all our medical advancements, just healing a simple wound can still be a really big challenge.
Think about it. A simple cut can turn into a huge problem if it gets infected or just heals so slowly. A basic bandage is okay. It gives you a physical barrier. But what a wound really needs is an active healing environment, one that's constantly fighting off bacteria and helping your body do its natural repair work. And that right there is where traditional dressings just don't quite cut it.
So, this search for a better solution leads us to a polymer that comes directly from plants. Let's introduce the hero of our story today, a material called CMC.
So what in the world is CMC? Well, it stands for carboxymethylcellulose. And what makes it so perfect for medical use are its properties. It comes from plant cellulose, so it's non-toxic, it's biocompatible, meaning it works well with the human body, it's water-soluble, and it's biodegradable. I mean, it pretty much ticks all the boxes for a safe, natural foundation to build on. Okay, so here's what it looks like on a molecular level. Now, I know it might look a little complex, but this chain-like structure is the fundamental building block for the advanced dressing these researchers created. It's a surprisingly powerful and versatile place to start.
But, as great as CMC is, on its own, it's not quite a superhero. To turn it into a true healing machine, scientists decided they needed to supercharge it. They essentially gave our hero material some incredible superpowers by adding powerful metal ions.
They brought in two heavy hitters, silver and zinc. Now, silver is famous for being a germ killer. It can actually get inside bacterial cells and take them out. And then you've got zinc, which is also a huge player, known for helping our bodies heal and build new tissue. And you can actually see this transformation happening at a microscopic level. These are images from a scanning electron microscope. The picture on the left shows the plain CMC film. Kind of has these ribbon-shaped structures. Now, look at the one on the right. That's the same film, but now it's infused with silver. You see all those tiny, bright little dots? Those are the silver particles, the bacteria-fighting superpowers now fully integrated into the dressing.
Okay, so the team has created these new composite films. They look cool under a microscope, but the real question is, do they actually work? It's time to put them through a whole series of tough lab tests to prove what they're made of.
First up, its ability to fight bacteria. This chart shows the zone of inhibition, which is basically the size of the bacteria-free area around the material. The plain CMC film created a zone of about 9.3 millimeters. Not bad. But look at the CMC silver film. It created a massive 29 millimeter zone. That is more than 3 times the bacteria-killing power, a huge difference.
Next, a good dressing needs to be able to absorb fluid from a wound. This chart measures its swelling ability. And what's really interesting here is that while silver was the better bacteria fighter, the CMC zinc film was the champion absorber. It swelled to over 50% of its size in just 30 minutes, which is exactly what you want for keeping a wound clean.
These lab tests are impressive, for sure, but they all lead up to this, the ultimate test. Could these materials actually speed up healing on a living subject? This is where the research gets really exciting.
So for the experiment, the study used rats. They had 4 groups, a control group with no treatment, one with plain CMC, one with the CMC silver, and one with CMC zinc. This slide shows us day 0, the starting line, with a standard 5 millimeter wound on each subject.
All right, let's jump forward to day 5, the halfway point. On the left is the untreated control wound. On the right is a wound treated with the CMC silver film. I mean, you don't have to be a scientist to see the absolutely dramatic difference here. The healing is visibly, massively accelerated.
And now for the headline result. After just 10 days, the wound treated with the CMC silver film showed a wound contraction of 89.79%. That's almost 90% healed in just 10 days. Staggering.
And here's what that number actually looks like. This is the final result on day 10. Compare the top row, the control, with that third row, the CMC silver treatment. The control wound is still a very visible mark, while the treated wound is almost completely gone. The visual proof is just undeniable.
But the healing wasn't just on the surface. When they did a microscopic analysis, it's called histology, the story got even better. The treated wounds had a fully healed outer skin layer. They found clear deposits of collagen, which is the stuff that makes new tissue strong. They saw new blood vessels and, get this, even the regrowth of hair follicles. And critically, the levels of inflammation markers were way lower. So this wasn't just fast healing, it was high-quality healing.
So what does all of this mean for us? Let's wrap up by looking at the future of bandages and the really big takeaway from this amazing innovation.
You know, the researchers themselves summed it up perfectly in their conclusion. They said, these composite films have auspicious features with eloquent bioactivities that could be used as bio-based dressings for wound management. In other words, this plant-based metal-infused material works, and it has serious potential to change how we treat wounds. And this brings us to our final thought for today. This incredible research leaves us with a powerful question. Could smart bandages, born from nature and supercharged by science, be the key to healing us faster and safer than ever before? It certainly seems like we're one big step closer to that future.